We're talking Israel, Iran. When it's going down, is it going to be today? We thought it would be yesterday, but who knows? Let's get into it. How you doing, Mel?
Pretty good. Doing pretty good. We've been having some storms, so, typical spring stuff.
You're having the old Missouri shuffle is what I'm going to start calling it, the Missouri storms.
Right. We're like right in the middle, so we get to swirl a little bit of everything, especially in spring, but...
Absolutely. Well, you know what? We were going to talk about the boat today. We might get to that at the end of the show, but there's more things going on between Iran and Israel since Iran decided to attack Israel. Because Israel attacked their embassy in Syria. It's just turning into one big mess over there in the Middle East. Right.
I agree. And it seems like it's just constantly changing. You never know what exactly is going to happen. And from day to day, it's like, I think everybody's at the edge of their seat with this whole thing because it could pop off literally World War III. And we're all just kind of waiting for something because it's, I don't see a ceasefire happening. I mean, they've been trying for how many years now for that? Like forever?
Well, exactly. And what people don't understand is the Middle East, it's been in war for literally 5,000 years. So, to get rid of Israel, that's what they're all saying, right? Death to Israel, and death to America. To get rid of that country, it's not going to solve peace in the Middle East.
No, it isn't. People need to get over their differences and they need to learn how to live together, work together, and be okay with differences in religion and belief because that's what makes everyone, special in their own way. And you don't push your beliefs onto other people. And that's what they're doing is they're continuing to push, this is a religious war. I don't care what anyone says, but it is, and it has been. I mean, this has been a religious war for, like you said, thousands of years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a religious war. Now things are starting to spill over, right? You got a bishop in Australia who was literally attacked with a knife in the middle of doing his sermon. Let's check this out. I don't care what anybody says, Mel. That is not good for anybody in this world.
It's horrific. And the amount of terror that, they're causing the entire world is just insane. I mean, they're causing even more division. They're just violent and just absolutely sickening. And they're trying to say it's in the name of religion.
Yeah, exactly. And what you saw there, ladies and gentlemen, is going to start happening and it's going to be more popular. And I just ask you one thing. If a Christian or a Jewish person were to go into a mosque and do that to its mosque's leader, I can only imagine what would happen.
It would absolutely be called a hate crime.
100%. The news media
on eggshells around this whole situation and not calling it what it is. You need to call a spade a spade.
Absolutely. The news media would have headlines all over the place, right? Instead, there's headlines out there of this in Australia. You got to go search and dig for them. But if this was a Muslim, I can guarantee you in the Western world, this would be all over the New York Times. This would be in every major newspaper in North America. And, this propaganda has spread, and let's remember, Iran and all of the people it supports spends billions of dollars a year on propaganda, and we have proof of that right here. This is what's happening in America right now.
We're going to see what their reaction is to the American flag.
They're not allowed in, I'm sorry.
Keep it pushing, bozos.
Get the fuck out. Take your flag and go.
Make this house protect.
Hey, when I think about the USA, it should burn. Death to America.
Yo, don't touch me. Don't touch me. What about the USA?
Bye.
So what do you think about the American flag?
Wow.
Absolute cowards. They're fucking cowards, and they're disgusting. And the only reason they're allowed to do that is because people like my father and my father-in-law went to war and fought for your fucking rights, for your freedoms, and you want to disrespect that flag like that? You want to burn that flag like that? You want to tell people they're not allowed in a space in America carrying an American flag? That's bullshit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're an American, right, Mel? And I'm a Canadian, and we have the same thing happening up in Canada. We have pro-Palestinian protests weekly. They are dwindling, and you know, the pro-Palestinian people out there that are pro-terrorism and all this other shit, they're really going to hate this. But your protests are dwindling in this country because this country, you know, in Canada, we work on 15-second attention spans. We are this support the current thing country. And I think the protest last weekend in Calgary, which is right where I live, I think only had a dozen people in it. But it seems to be growing in the United States, and it's growing like a cancer.
It is really badly. I mean, it's happening in all the major Democratic cities. You're seeing these massive protests. These people, they're very violent. They're, you know, people are getting hurt. I mean, and what honestly do they think they're going to fucking change? Do they think they're going to cause a ceasefire by going and terrorizing Americans on American streets and burning American flags?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there, Mel, when you said, you know, your father fought for this country, for those people to be able to, you know, have those freedoms where they can go out and say things like death to America, burn an American flag. But when push comes to shove, America is full of United States active military personnel. You have the National Guard, and then you have veterans. And what I see happening is the more bishops that get attacked, the more people that are chanting death to America, the more people who are going to burn those flags, you know, people are going to start getting frustrated and upset. And we saw that yesterday when they shut down the San Francisco Bridge.
You're being killed on the fucking road! You don't understand! Do you think I care? You're in the road! Please calm down. Please calm down. You're being filmed.
I mean, do they really think they're going to get anyone to be free by going out and screaming in the fucking streets and causing chaos and terrorizing Americans? I mean, it's not going to accomplish anything other than causing more problems.
Absolutely, 100%. That's all they're doing is pissing people off at this point. But that's what they want to do. They want to piss people off. And these groups of people, like these protesters, people need to understand one thing. This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore, folks. You can go and you can see online where they are looking for protesters, where they will pay you. Companies like, you know, George Soros funded companies actually, you know, pay for protesters to go out there and create turmoil in a nation. How is that illegal? Why is nobody going after the Soros family for what he's doing to America?
Yeah, I mean, he's known for, you know, funding a lot of this chaos and funding all of these protest movements. And people are, you know, they're putting ads on Craigslist saying, we're looking for protesters. Would you like to make $1,500? All you have to do is go out here, hold a sign and scream some stuff, you know, and people are doing it. You know, it's quick money. It's, you know, and they have no allegiance, though. Where the fuck is their patriotism? Where's their allegiance?
Absolutely. Their allegiance is to the almighty dollar, Mel. That's what their allegiance is to. These people give two shits, and the only thing they care about is going out there, making a little bit of money to create turmoil. And I don't know, they don't even believe in this. Like, you've seen gays against groomers, right? You know, right. People like that actually speak out about what's going on in the world in LGBTQ plus IA, but you got pro-Palestinians that come out and say queers for Palestine. Like, you know, if you go over to Palestine, you know, the Gazan, the Gazan people who are hungry, who are starving, that you're supposedly supporting, they won't eat today, but they will make sure they throw you off of a fucking bridge. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they have no tolerance and no acceptance. And these people are going out here because it's the trending latest thing. Let's go out here and protest because, it looks like we can go make some money. And, they're not even thinking about the repercussions of actually what they're doing. I mean, they're terrorizing people's kids that are in those cars on those bridges, shutting down traffic, causing more resources to have to be wasted, police officers to have to go when crime is running rampant in those cities. And what are the officers doing? Worrying about people blocking fucking traffic. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. They're worrying about that. And we saw, on the Golden Gate Bridge, I think it was like 4.5, 5 hours that bridge was actually shut down. But, in Florida, kind of funny. It was hard for me to pull a clip today on that. But in Florida, officers were doing exactly what officers should do. They were going in, they were removing them by force, picking them up by the scruffies and pulling them off of the street. And as an American and as a Canadian, this is what I expect when it comes down to law enforcement. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not against protests, but I want protests in my country to actually do something for my country, not somebody else's.
Well, and the violence involved, there's no excuse for any kind of violent protest. It's not needed. It doesn't send the message you're trying to get through. No one's going to listen to violence. They're just not. And these people are going out here, scaring people, freaking people out. People are just trying to get to their jobs. It's already hard enough with the economy. So all they're doing is they're irritating an already very irritated populace by their bullshit. And people are at the edge right now. And all they're going to do is end up pushing those few people right over the edge. And it's not going to be good for them.
No, it really isn't. And that's what we're starting to see, right? For people have a tolerance level. They'll put up with stuff for a little bit of time. But the more this progresses and the more this moves on, and I'm expecting there to be some sort of retaliation attack today against Iran. That's what the channels are all saying, not mainstream news media, but the channels that I follow on Telegram. They're all expecting an attack today. And Iran's even come out and said, they're going to use weapons that they've never used before. And all I have to say to Iran is, well, you've already used all your wish.com weapons, and you probably don't have any more weapons to use other than ballistic missiles. And what we saw with the Iron Dome and everything else, and everybody coming in to defend Israel, you're not going to be successful at defending. You're going to be destroyed in this. And the Middle East doesn't even like Iran anyway.
Right. Well, and it's just like, I don't understand the whole point of it. It's like, both sides are being funded by people that shouldn't be funding it. They're all making money off of it. It's just about money. And people are getting so inflamed and enraged, and they're going, oh, free Palestine, all this. It's like, do you realize the people that you are screaming free Palestine about, the ones behind it all, the warmongers, the war machine, do not give a shit one way or another because they're going to make their fucking money. And that's what they're doing. They're profiting off of war, and that's what they continue to do. And people are like, oh, free so-and-so. They're not going to allow that. They're making too many millions of dollars off of the money. They're selling weapons to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really in Hamas's hands. Israel wants their hostages back, and I can pretty much tell you right now that there's no hostages left. That's why there is no ceasefire.
Well, the latest thing Hamas proposed about the ceasefire is they're asking for 6 weeks of a ceasefire. And then if that is followed, then they will, in the meantime, check on the condition of those hostages and locate all of them, sort of thing.
Yeah, find and locate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the show is sponsored by Strathmore Dodge, and we really support patriots helping patriots.
Patriots should help patriots. Freedom fighters should help freedom fighters. And if you're in line for a Dodge pickup truck, SUV, or even getting yourself a soccer mom van, go see my friend Banks at Strathmore Dodge. She's a patriot and a freedom fighter, and we should be supporting each other.
Mel, I could see us talking about Iran for probably Iran-Israel the rest of the week. But I want to get into the boat. I want to get into some of the news that in Baltimore with that boat. You know, that consumed us a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it quite a bit. We took a little bit of a break.
Right.
And now we're back. And the FBI's come out with some stuff that you found.
Yeah, actually, the FBI is going to be opening a criminal investigation into the whole Baltimore boat bridge collapse thing. So, in my opinion, that's very telling, you know, because things just didn't seem right. There were so many things, you know, safety protocols that weren't in place that should have been. I mean, way too many fail safes didn't, you know, nothing happened. And it's just not convenient. It's not a coincidence. It's, in my opinion, I really don't think it is. And now it seems that maybe enough of us have been questioning things that now they've decided, you know, it kind of does seem a little weird in a few ways. So let's look into this more. I'm really hoping, though, since the FBI has become so corrupted, that they actually do a thorough, legitimate investigation into this. That's my biggest concern about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm still under the impression that there's fail safes on a container ship like that, designed to, you know, not hit a bridge, to not have a ship hit a bridge. There's literally fail safes for this. And, you know, when we came out with all that content, Mel, people were saying, you should learn how to run a ship. You don't know how this works. Ladies and gentlemen, go search the backup systems on a cruise ship, or not a cruise ship, a tanker ship. And then tell me, you know, that a tanker ship of that size, which carries hazardous goods all over the world into ports that are the largest ports in the world, wouldn't have fail-safe after fail-safe, no different than an airliner. Ladies and gentlemen, something happened that morning on that ship, or that night on that ship, that we might not ever know about, because they don't want to tell us about it, and they don't want to instigate something else. But Joe Biden coming out and saying, you know what? We are going to fund this bridge. We are going to rebuild this bridge off of his cue cards, tells you everything you need to know.
Huge red flag, in my opinion. I'm not even kidding. I mean, when the federal government gets involved and they say, we're going to take care of all of this, we're going to pay for all of this, when the investigation hadn't even been completed yet, that's a huge, huge red flag. I mean, and it's Joe Biden's hometown. So what better way to retire than have money come into your hometown that you can funnel to places?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you're allowed it. You're allowed that opinion, you know. But the thing is, you know, we're going to be talking more on the Baltimore Bridge, and I think that's important. Is we need to be talking about things that have already happened, that we moved on through the news cycle, because these news cycles are literally, you know, every single day something is changing. That's why, you know, I just want to remind our people at home that Bill Clinton likes them young. I just want to touch a little bit on Donald Trump and the election interference that is taking place there. He's not even able to go to his son's graduation. The judge won't let him do that. You know, this is the Biden administration. This is communism, fascism, and Marxism all rolled into one. And we're watching election interference go down. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, it just goes to show that, you know, they are interfering with the election on every facet they possibly can. I mean, they're trying to cause him all this chaos, cost him money, cause him to miss his youngest child's graduation. I mean, that's just insanity. They have weaponized the United States Department of Justice, and this is fucking proof of it. It's absolutely disgusting what they've done to every letter agency. Every single one is corrupted like this, and it's sick.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, that Yao Ming, or whatever the fuck that guy's name was in China. This is all rolled into Joe Biden and what he's doing, and we're going to be covering this Trump and this Trump trial, you know, in the coming days. But ladies and gentlemen, you just got to remember, keep your eye on what's actually happening. If you haven't joined a Telegram group of an independent journalists yet, make sure you do. I just started one up for the BertaProudDad Show. You can get a hold of me by DM and we'll get you in there. We're going to be giving you the latest updates as they come at us. And make sure, you know, you just keep following along on Mel's channel, my channel, and many other independent journalists, because this is the only way you're going to get what's really going on in the world. This has been a great show, Mel. I appreciate you for being here. As always, it's Tuesday. It's snowed here, and we're gonna carry on with the news. And I'm just gonna keep on carrying on. What about you?
Sounds good. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody.
Happy talk. Go out and get your ground beef. Support small business.